This whole situation's kind of reminding me of that episode of The Simpsons where Mr. Burns gets a softball team full of ringers. Homer's the best player on the team, but he's competing with Darryl Strawberry.
You're Darryl Strawberry.
Yes.
You play right field.
Yes.
I play right field too.
So?
Well, are you better than me?
Well, I never met you, but yes.
Caden Primeau will be placed on waivers starting tomorrow. He then has to clear waivers after 24 hours in order to play on the Laval Rocket, which sounds like it is the intention of the Montreal management. And Jakub Dobes is coming to the Montreal Canadiens and starting against the Florida Panthers tomorrow. Trial by fire. What does this mean for the Canadiens? What does it mean for the Rocket? Does this have implications outside of just the goaltending? There's so much stuff going around, and I think a lot of it is insulting to the fans' intelligence. But if there's one thing that's clear is there's still moving pieces within Montreal, and they need to decide what they want to do to move forward. There's also been some developments about Patrik Laine, so let's talk about it. So all this news, this movement, and this momentum started today, but we're currently within the NHL's holiday roster freeze. It gets lifted tomorrow at 12 a.m., I think like at midnight tonight. So we should see that Primeau will be added to waivers, and I'm hoping that he clears waivers, and I'll let you know why. First of all, can you subscribe? If you're not already subscribed, I'd love to have you. We're scraping towards 7,000 subscribers now. I can't thank you guys enough for all the support. It's been incredible. But if you are a subscriber, just like the video. It helps me out with search results or findability or something. And comment too in the comment section. Let me know what your favorite holiday treat is. Are you a pie guy? Are you more into cake? Let me know. So there's a lot of negative individuals, go figure, in the forums online for the Montreal Canadiens. There's a lot of people that think with the anger side of their brain, and they figure the best bet for Primeau is that he gets picked up by another team in the NHL perhaps, so we don't have to deal with him anymore. Can I just say that I hate that? He's on an entry-level contract. He's not costing us a lot of money. Why would you root for his downfall? Are these the same individuals that rooted for Armia's downfall when he had his stint last season in the AHL? And what could happen, I'm saying that it could happen, I don't think it will happen, it might, is a team in the same division could pick up Primeau. And this could come back to bite us in the butts. You don't have to look very far either. Look at Ottawa. They've got Mats Søgaard and Meriläinen. Ullmark has been having injuries. Søgaard and Meriläinen backing up Anton Forsberg. That's got to put a lump in the throat of some Ottawa management. Søgaard and Meriläinen don't look hot. Caden Primeau has demonstrated that he can be a competent backup. Last season in 23 games, he posted a 2.99 goals against average and a .910 save percentage. That's a decent sample size. Of course, this season it went completely off the rails. Essentially, he's playing worse in every single stat that you can imagine. But is Jakub Dobes a better goalie? We'll have to see. Just comparing Jakub Dobes versus Caden Primeau at the time in their careers that Dobes has currently reached, the stats are really similar. Dobes edges Primeau out just so slightly in save percentage. And then in terms of goals against average, Primeau has shown that he can do a little bit better than Dobes. So for those of you that's saying this is like a silver bullet, I don't think there's anybody really out there saying that this is what they need to do or this is going to solve all their problems. I don't think so. Just calm down on that one. But I'll say this, Jakub Dobes has an incredible opportunity here. He is interviewing for a job. And if he does great, well, I think that the moves are going to be reactionary from there, along the lines of what they did for Primeau when he demonstrated that he could be a good backup option. It's just business. This isn't cutthroat. And I like Primeau. I've stuck up for him. When he posted that shutout last season against Columbus, 41 saves. Do you remember how much he was being praised at that point? He has it in him. He knows what to do. It's a discipline thing. It's got to be discipline and confidence. So maybe he goes down to Laval. He gets his confidence back and he comes back better than ever. It could happen. The other thing I wanted to talk about, rumors are swirling. People are getting bored. That's what happens when the NHL goes away for a few days. Chris Johnson floated the idea that a trade could happen between Montreal and Toronto for David Savard. He didn't even play out what that could look like, really. He He just mentioned, of course, what everybody's been always saying forever, that David Savard doesn't necessarily fit the timeline of Montreal. But there's already worries about Montreal defense. What are we going to do? Go after Connor Timmins or Simon Benoit? That doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't make sense. Stranger things have happened, but I think it's irresponsible by then having other creators, I'm not going to mention any names, but creators on the platform insinuating that a trade could be happening. I was at the car dealership earlier today, and I was talking to one of the service guys about the Montreal Canadiens. I don't just start talking to random people about the Montreal Canadiens. I had a hat on, and they were a Habs fan, I guess. So anyway, he said to me, yeah, it sounds like they're trading David Savard to the Toronto Maple Leafs. And I said, what? So of course I look at my phone and nothing's happening. And I say, oh, don't listen to that. It's just people trying to get clicks. Hey, and I'm kind of guilty too, obviously. Like, I try to get clicks as well, but instead of piling on, I'll refute those things when they don't feel right or there isn't a good source for it. I digress. Anyway, Patrik Laine was seen practicing earlier today. So it seems like the injury probably wasn't so much physical as more of a mental injury. Let me walk that back. Actually, I gotta do as I say and say as I do. May in fact have been injured during that CBJ game, but that stuff was perpetuated. Seemed like he left the game after he felt like he was being targeted. And who knows what was being said on the ice. Like, the players talk on the ice, they get the general vibe of what's going on. I haven't really addressed my thoughts about what Patty Laine said before that Columbus game. And to tell you the truth, I'm not really comfortable with sharing whether or not I think he was right in saying it or wrong in saying it. I don't know the whole story, and I don't think anybody really does. But this is what I'll say about that, is I think individuals should feel empowered to say what's on their mind. Someone had an interesting take about this. I can't remember who it is. If you remember who it is, can you tell me in the comments? But they said, you know, you watch baseball players, you watch basketball players, you watch football players. They're able to demonstrate their personalities on, off the field, on, off the court. They're charismatic people. They're personable, and they show their temper. They show the competitive side of them. They don't just talk about getting pucks in deep. And when asked about what they need to do to win the game, they don't just say, you know, score more goals or allow less. So in the biggest way that I think I'm comfortable supporting Laine, I think that I'll say that he should be comfortable sharing his mind. He obviously harbors some sort of resentment against the organization, maybe not necessarily the players. He never named any players' names. It is interesting that he insinuated some stuff about players though, right? I don't know what I think about that, and I'm not calling him a liar because what he said is kind of specific. It's just I hate thinking that there are certain players in the league that will say, hey, I did my part. Let's pack it in. I've said this before and I'll say it again. These are professional athletes. They want to win. So yeah, I don't know. What do you think about that? It's a big topic. That's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you're all doing great. Let me know how you're doing in the comments. I love hearing from you. I've been reading your comments. It's been a whirlwind. I haven't really had the opportunity to respond to all of you. I'm seeing all your comments. I'm trying to find opportunities to respond. You know, this is the time that I'm able to do anything, and I'm wrapped up trying to make these videos. I'm watching the juniors game right now while I'm doing this video, and I want to do a video about the juniors game as well. It's tight. It's a very tight schedule. But again, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your support. I really, really appreciate it, guys. We're still scraping at that 7,000 subscriber benchmark. So share the channel if you feel so inclined. And don't forget to like the video. It helps me out with search results or something. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. I'd love to have you. And as always, I'll see you down below in the comments.